Hi, you're listening to When Isabel Met Aviva, a podcast about rom-coms, female-driven screenwriting, and how to break into the entertainment industry. I'm Isabel.
And I'm Aviva.
And thanks for listening to our podcast.
Oh, welcome back, everyone.
This is our first Just Aviva and I episode in a while, but I feel like we do have a lot of things to catch up on.
Yeah. Should we open with rom-com moments? Like, do you want to start doing that?
Yeah, okay, let's get that one over with, because I'm definitely in a more like depressed state today than normal. I mean, I guess what is normal?
Yeah, honestly, I'm blaming not everything, but a lot on the moon. There's like a moon planetary shift happening right now.
I did see that Virgos are like affected by whatever is going on. Wasn't it a pink moon last night or tonight or something?
Yeah, I'm like not super well versed in planetary like moon shifts, but a lot of my friends have been asking me about that, and like they're kind of I think they're having kind of a tougher week as well. So
same here. I do think something's going on, because I've had like at least 2 or 3 friends that like kind of randomly I was just talking to, and then they all said like, oh, I feel like I'm just having a really off week or something. I was like, I've been feeling that too. Like, I don't know what is going on, but something is going on.
I've had a lot more emotions this week. Like, I thought I was on a little bit more of an up. I mean, I'm doing okay, but like, it's just been more emotional this week.
Yeah. So. I mean, I guess there is a lot going on in the world right now, so maybe we're just feeling
it's so many different facets, but yeah, I'm someone who pays attention to that now. So, but yeah, for rom-com moments of the week, do you have, or of the past, whenever, do you have any?
Yeah, no, I thought of a funny one that I think has like multiple layers to it, but I wanted to share, because I think I've told you that I've been in a swim class for like the last few months.
I love that.
So that already in itself feels like a rom-com setting to me, because I'm kind of just like, I needed something to do that would be like physical and active, but also make me feel good, and it is like kind of therapy to me, because I love just swimming for like an hour, and I think it helps my mind relax. So I'm kind of already in this environment where I'm very much going into it like, this is just like, for me to feel good. And I've also realized I'm the type of person that when I'm in that mode, or especially if it has anything to do with working out, like I'm not the type of person that like goes to the gym to like meet somebody and like dresses up. Like, I'm there to work out. I don't dress up. Like, especially in the swimming class, like I'm in a swimsuit, with goggles and the swim cap on. Like, there's no way for that to be like sexy.
Right.
And so like the last week we've had an assistant coach who's like been our like sub. So already it felt like new character entering the movie, right? But I feel like I hadn't like really noticed him. Like again, in my mind, I'm just kind of like, oh, this is just a substitute teacher. But what felt like a rom-com moment to me is like what made him, I guess, stand out or like shift in my brain to be like, oh, potential love interest. Was because I was like talking with a couple of the people in my class, because our like actual teacher had been out. She had made notes on the board, and the way, like, I don't know if he wrote it or she wrote it, but we were discussing what the difference was between these 2 dives. Like, it was like written as cactus dive and regular dive.
Yeah.
And so then like he came over to sort of like explain the difference, but he did so using sound effects. I hope he like never hears this. This would be so embarrassing, but I don't.
Probably not, but you never know. I don't know where the story's going. Maybe he is like part of your life now.
No, I need to start being more vague, I think. But I just thought like it was like a moment where the way he was describing the dives, where he was like, cactus dives, like like regular dives, like whoop, and I like something happened to me that I just fell in love like in that moment. Like, I was just like, wow, he's so, because I realized in reflecting on it that it's because he like matches my energy. Like, I'm like weird and quirky like that, and so I think especially in the context of like we're all kind of like laughing and chit-chatting, me and these 2 other people, and he came over and just like matched our energy with like that, and I instantly was like, oh, hello. Like,
maybe he's your true love.
Right? But I remember texting a couple of my friends, because I It's been like a solid year and a half, I want to say, since I've like been attracted to a man. Since like a guy has like I very much have like really only been interested in women like in the last like year. And so it was funny because I was like, okay, yeah, like I am bisexual. Like I did.
Yeah.
I can still be attracted to a guy. It just really, there just aren't a lot of great guys out there is what I'm learning, or what I think. But then that made me laugh to think about maybe someday writing a rom-com about bisexuality and how like it'd be kind of cute for there to be a movie that's sort of in the vein of like Love Actually, or like a rom-com where there's like multiple characters, because I think it would be a fun way to do a like more suspenseful rom-com, because like if the woman's bi, you don't know, like, is she gonna fall for the guy or the girl, and like maybe she keeps meeting all these different like men and women, or like non-binary people who that like that she's like attracted to, and she doesn't know. Like, I don't know, I just thought it would be kind of a fun way to explore like sexuality in that sense.
More unpredictability.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Okay, I like your rom-com moment. That's fun. And it would just be, it'd be fun to have just like, I think swimming in general is just like a rom-com activity to like have on screen. Like it would be fun just to like have something based on your class.
It's definitely in some Mary-Kate and Ashley movies. I was reminding that too. Like Billboard Dad I think she wants to be like a diver.
So long.
And I think she falls in love with the lifeguard or something.
Yeah. There's just something very like hot about like swimming, and like you could be rescued, and like I don't know. Sexy.
Yeah, well, that's like a lifeguard situation.
Yeah, lifeguard.
Which, I mean, I guess a lifeguard is always sexy.
Yeah, exactly. I just started this new show, side note, about, what is it called? It's set on Oahu. My friend recommended it, and it has Adam Demos. Is that his name? Adam Demos, this Australian hot actor who's in some rom-coms on Netflix, and it's all about like the lifeguards of the North Shore. And I'm only like one episode in, but I recommend it.
Sounds fun.
Note. Yeah. Anything like in Hawaii, like with lifeguards, I'm in.
It's a TV show or a reality show?
Yeah. It's called, I actually have it in my notes, Rescue High Surf.
Okay.
So
is it like young adult or?
No, I mean, it's about mostly adults. So it's not even like a teen show. It kind of sounds like it, the name. But
yeah, I was going to say that name kind of seems very YA. They might want to change the name to appeal to our age group.
It got canceled after a season, so that does say something. Yeah. But I like it so far just because it's actually filmed there. Okay, my rom-com moment. I texted you about this, just a little one, but I went to a music store, which I haven't done in years. I grew up playing like the piano and some guitar and stuff. And as one of my like post-breakup hobbies, I've decided I want to be a pianist again. So I have my keyboard over there. And anyway, just walking into the music store reminded me so much of 10 Things I Hate About You, because they were like really cool electric guitars everywhere and just like people playing. Like it's just like an environment I haven't been in for years. And I was just like talking to the employee there, how I just like wanted a new hobby, and I was kind of like oversharing a little. I don't know, kind of feeling a little like I don't know, just being like, I really just need like a hobby, and this is, I don't know. So yeah, that was my little moment. I just remember in 10 Things I Hate About You, how Kat is so cool, and she just like goes to the music store and practices on the guitar. Like she's very much just her, we've talked about her so many times, but just very much her own person, and doesn't like, she's affected by heartbreak and everything, of course, but she just really stays to like, I think, her core values, and that's really inspiring.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my little moment. So if anyone else has a rom-com moment, we would love for you to comment. You can like leave a comment on Spotify. So we would love to know.
Yeah, tell us your rom-com moment. And oh shoot, there was something else I was going to say. I was going to say, have you ever seen the movie Once?
Yeah.
That's like one of my favorite scenes, is when they go into the music store and then he plays the song, and they play and like sing it together. Like I love like any kind of forced intimate space with music is like one of my favorite tropes.
Same. This is like a subgenre of the rom-com. Also music and lyrics, I think is wonderful. And when he just like takes her to the piano store.
I love that movie.
Me too. I think I rewatched it on the plane to Greece or something. It still holds up. It's great. But yeah. I think those, I mean, there've been a lot of rom-com moments, but let's Next topic.
Wait, okay, there was something in the notes on
Oh yeah, we made
that
a
I
whole
wanted to ask you
list.
about because you said
Yes. What did
I
I
was
write?
laughing when I was reading this. Oh, it said Aviva has realized that an allergic reaction is a trope in rom-coms. I want to hear more about that.
Wrote this like a couple months ago on our note. We have a shared note. And I'm gonna see if I can even think of that many examples. But I was watching that movie we didn't really like that I told you about. Picture This.
Oh,
The one with Simone Ashley, who's a
yes.
goddess, but that was pretty much the only
Oh
good
yeah,
part of
my
the movie.
I haven't seen it, but my sister pretty much said the exact same thing you said. So I was like, I don't know if I need to watch this.
Yeah. There's just it's just a trope. What did I write in the note? Let's see.
It literally says Aviva. Oh, you have you have examples in it.
Picture This. Which I feel like there are other rom-coms as well. Everyone please comment as well if we're missing any. But basically, I just feel like it is a trope where someone has an allergic reaction.
Oh, that's in Love Hard. She has allergic reaction to the kiwi.
Yes. Yes. I just feel like I don't know if this is my favorite trope. It definitely is not, but it just is it's a pattern I've noticed, and I feel like it's another ones where just someone starts having an anaphylactic reaction, which would not be a funny thing to happen, but in like a rom-com, they're like,
yeah.
Ah.
I was just gonna say, I feel like I can kind of see why they do it because it's like it like leads to physical humor, and then it's also like something looks weird on their face or their body in some way, so it kind of leads to that sort of like funny gag. But yeah, I agree. In real life, that horrifying. Not funny.
Yeah, no, I just think, and it's also a way like for the character to probably bond with the other lead or another character, like it's like a moment of like vulnerability if you don't die from it.
Yeah, I mean that is one of my favorite parts of Love Hard when she like wakes up in in what she thinks is the hospital, and then it's like a vet's office.
Yeah, I think that part is so funny. I agree. That's brilliant. And I feel like nothing's come. I wasn't prepared to discuss this, so I can't think of any others. But yeah, that's just like a trope I noticed recently.
Yeah, but no, I thought I'd like, because as we were talking about the music store, I realized like that's definitely one of my favorite tropes, and I wrote that into my Indian rom-com, is like that being in I pictured, I can't remember. Have you been to the Museum of Pop Culture in Seattle?
I went before it was called that, so I haven't been in recent years. Like it used to be called EMP, Experience Music
right,
Project.
yeah, okay, so, yeah. I was gonna say it was called EMP before. I can't remember if I saw this. It must have been there. That would make the most sense. But there was like a music listening box where it's like kind of the size of a telephone box, you know, or a telephone. What's it called?
A telephone booth.
Yeah. It's like the size of one of those, and you go in and there's like headphones and you like can listen, but like it's usually big enough for two people to fit in it. So like I really want that like scene where like the two characters have to like go into it and like listen to a song together, and like you can like really feel the like intensity, right, of the music and how it like vibrates in your body, and just like it kind of makes it feel more intimate because you're like close and you're listening to the same sound. And
yeah, that sounds romantic.
There was something else in your notes. That was when I was reading it. Yeah. That was what made me laugh, and I was like, okay,
I've written about so many things. I can do this right now. We could talk about. I mean, there's a rom-com in theaters as of today.
Yeah, you're going to see it today.
I'm seeing it right after this, and it's called, The Materialists. I think technically it's just called Materialists, not The Materialists. And I would love to bring someone from that film onto the pod. Yeah. Maybe a producer or something. I reached out, but
maybe Pedro Pascal.
But we have to get Zach first.
Oh, yeah.
We could get Dakota Johnson. I like her. But it's written and directed by Celine Song, who made Past Lives. It's very it's, I mean, I haven't seen Materialist yet, but Materialist seems a little bit lighter. Although I did read that someone wouldn't necessarily call it a rom-com. I'm in this like rom-com WhatsApp group. You should be added. Side note. It was organized by Isabel Drian. I always say her name wrong. Okay.
Honestly, WhatsApp groups stress me out a little bit, so I don't know.
I've had to mute them. Yeah, I've been on so many. I'm like avoiding social media right now, but WhatsApp is allowed in my in
It's
my
loud in
rule.
your
I'm doing like a 1-month detox. So yeah, that's why I haven't been posting. So,
How far
but
into
it's
it are
actually
you
been
now?
really helpful. What?
How far into the detox right now?
I have a sticker chart over there. I think I have like a week and a half left.
Oh, okay,
So,
awesome. How's it feeling?
yeah, it's good. Like I'm not going to leave social media entirely, but if it weren't for like us promoting the podcast um and like, still promoting projects and stuff, like I would consider it, because
Yeah,
I
same.
don't know, I was just getting too addicted, and definitely I've been so much more creative and just like focused on hobbies and things since I left.
Yeah.
um but yeah, it has its pros and cons, because like we met on Twitter, and I've met a lot of people on Twitter, and
Right, yeah.
yeah.
I know it's such a it is a love-hate relationship. I feel the same. I took a month off earlier this year,
Yeah.
and I remember because that was also when I started my swim class, and
Yeah.
I remember at the end I was like, "Oh my gosh, life goes on when you're not on social media,"
Yeah. I
Like I
know.
felt
I
so much
know.
more present. I felt less anxious. I felt like I wasn't
Same. Yeah.
I agree. I felt more creative because I wasn't having so many random ruminating thoughts or like random
Mhm.
thoughts on like other things that I felt like social media was like triggering or like putting into my brain because
Mhm.
I'm just like consuming too much, you know?
Yeah, yeah, it was the reels for me, like, before.
Yeah.
I don't even know when I started watching them, like, in the past year, I wanna say, before that, maybe longer, but I used to just use Instagram just, like, for photo, like, it used to be different,
Yeah,
it used to
yeah.
be, like, a calmer experience,
Yeah.
and then they added reels, and then I just started getting so addicted to them, and yeah, I really think boredom, this is a whole side thing, I know we were talking about the materialists, but but I think boredom is actually really important for creativity, but it's something that we all super fear in the
Mhm.
modern age, I think. And
Yeah.
that's like why we're always trying to distract and not feel and not have any free time. Like it's okay just to like do nothing,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but that feels very unsafe, I think, to our nervous systems because we've trained ourselves to kind of feel that way. So I don't know. So I've been thinking a lot about that. Like I do think boredom is like a really good driver for being creative and writing and having new thoughts and just like having that space.
Yeah. So have you been more creative lately?
Yeah, definitely. I can't say like I have a new script or
Yeah, yeah.
anything, but I have been outlining a new rom-com. I think I mentioned this months ago. I don't remember if I mentioned it last episode, but like the sweater curse
Oh, yeah.
one. But it's so interesting to me when I have an idea and then I don't write it right away, and then like it morphs, like it like combines with other ideas, and then it's like a new story. So that's kind of what's happened. They're no longer witches. um, Now it's more of like a European rom-com, like set in Greece, but it starts with the sweater curse. So like a woman is broken up with because she believes, because she knit her significant other a sweater.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's like, look it up online, but it's like a superstition in the knitting world that you're only supposed to knit your your married partner a sweater. Like you're not supposed to do it unless he or she is like fully committed. So um yeah, and that like kind of happened to me, so
Yeah. It's so I just think I don't know for sure, but I don't think there's been a movie made about that, and it feels like such a great
I think
little,
it's a really good idea.
pitch for a movie because it just has all those elements to me, and I think it sounds super cute, and I also
Thank
know
you.
I think I
Yeah.
told you, I know at least one, maybe two people who it's happened to as well, and I kind
You
of
told me that. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I forgot until now. Yeah. No, it's a thing, and I've done it. It's surprising it hasn't been done yet. Like, hopefully, it's okay to like share this with everyone, but don't steal my idea, please. I actually like don't really think. I mean, there's probably someone who steals ideas, but I think generally, I don't know. Usually, when I hear someone else's idea, I'm not like, I want it. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never written someone
I
else's
feel
idea,
like
but you know what I mean.
too our especially an idea like this is so tied to like your experience of it. And like you're
Yes.
also a knitter, and actually I just realized that the person I know that this happened to lives in Seattle. So it almost makes me think
Shouldn't-
I kind of feel like you should make this as a like the movie that you want to make, like if you want to make a movie you should
Yeah.
write this maybe
This
actually
one.
set in Seattle. Or you could do a
Yeah,
short. You could just do a short about it.
maybe.
Because if that
Yeah,
feels
yeah.
very like, I don't know, I feel like I know so many people who knit sweaters in Seattle. I feel like
Cozy,
it's
like
such a
rainy vibes.
Pacific
Yeah,
Northwest thing. Yeah.
there is a big like knitting culture. Like even on the island, you know, there are multiple knitting shops and that I've frequented before. So yeah, so it's gonna be now set in Greece. She's basically the protagonist is going to try to find this elderly, like famous knitter who's off the grid because she wrote in a like book that's now out of print, this knitter in Greece, that there is some kind of like cure to the curse, but it's not listed in the book. So like she is kind of trying to find this woman and kind of like you know she's kind of believing in the superstition that that's what happened,
Mhm.
trying to like get him back to like figure out how to reverse the curse
Yeah.
basically. And then yeah, and then she goes on this adventure through Europe and I think meets this older woman's grandson, and that's like actually her love interest.
Okay.
Like he kind of helps her find yeah, his grandmother
Fine.
who's
Oh,
kind of
okay.
like off grid. So kind of like a scavenger hunt rom-com, which I tend to write a lot. So yeah, that's what I've been outlining. And then in July, I didn't tell you this, I think, but maybe you can sign up too. There is a virtual class being taught by Diane Drake
Oh, fine.
through UCLA.
Oh,
So I
cool.
signed up for that. So I'm hoping just like once a
What's the
week.
class?
It's just like a screenwriting, like 101 kind of beginner's class, but she
Okay.
says it will be helpful for like anyone at any stage. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Let's like use that to segue into. So wasn't there another website that was shutting down because Coverfly is
Yes.
shutting down or shut down or was bought by?
Coverfly is shutting down, I believe, in a month or two.
Okay.
And it's sad because yeah, that website has been like my favorite.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely gonna have to like screenshot, I don't know, just for the memes, I get the memories, but like, you know, like it was so fun to have all those rankings, like one of my projects in like the top 5%, and that makes me feel special. So
But
yeah.
I have maybe an unpopular opinion on
Mm.
this.
Tea.
Because I feel like I've seen people like kind of freaking out about it, and like posting how like
Yeah.
sad they are and stuff, and I kind of was just like, who cares? Like this
Yeah, like who's
company
looking
just
at
like
this?
is profiting off of people wanting to like
I know.
sell their scripts and make their dreams come true, and I
Mm-hmm.
was trying to think through like I don't know that I mean, I'm sure for some people it has like led to things, and so maybe I
Yeah.
just have like a more bitter thought on it because I've never really like gotten anything from
Mm-hmm.
using Coverfly. I just always viewed it as like a platform that just hosts submissions for competitions and stuff. But it made me think about like I don't even know how they actually made money other than maybe through the script reading, you know? And
Yeah.
then that thought, this is when I know that I'm like anxious,
Yeah.
is when I'm having all these like spiraling thoughts, because then that
Mm-hmm.
spiraling thought led to me thinking about who are these script readers for like Coverfly, and like how much are
Yeah.
they paid? And then it started to make me think that like I personally think this is a good thing, because I feel that to me it's always better to get feedback from people who know you and know your writing, and
Mm-hmm.
like within your own network, than just like random people. Because like the more I think about it, when I think about like when I first moved to LA, and I spent like almost $1,000 on like all the competitions,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
that kind of feedback stuff, and it just feels like you're just literally like placing all of like the worth of your script on this random person's
Yeah.
opinion, that who knows how
100%.
qualified they are, who knows what their background
Yeah.
is. And it's made me think more about how like, to me, what would be the better way to do a site like that would be like, I don't want my script, like what if all 5 of my scripts that I paid $100 to get read were all just read by like white men? And how would I know that?
Mm-hmm.
And like, why I would
Wouldn't.
not choose out of like 5 people, that are like 5
Yeah.
white guys to like read my script. So it just made me think about
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, that I was just kind of feeling like, I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah, like distrust. No, I get that. Yeah, like when I was using Coverfly a lot more, it was just through contests. So like if you get a quarterfinalist placement, it like organizes it for you and gives you a ranking if you pay to enter all these contests and happen to place. Like that's why one of my scripts is like the top 5% because I had to like pay so many entries, and then I was like lucky enough to get on some lists or whatever that. It's mostly for self-validation. I don't think it's like gotten me any opportunities necessarily, but it felt good at the time. But yeah, no, I hear you. I know, like I think they went out of business too. We Screenplay.
Oh, that's the other one. Is
that the one you were thinking of? And that I remember when you pay like, I don't know, like $100 to get someone to read it. I think you can at least request gender, but yeah, like same with Blacklist, which I think is, still in existence, but I kind of lost hope in those kinds of websites because it's like you just pay so much, and I don't know, I think it offers some credibility somewhat if you're reaching out to a producer or they find you and they're like, oh, this person has a good score or whatever, but
does it? Do they actually care about that?
I don't know if they care
about that too. Yeah, I was like, I don't know that. I mean, for me, like for example, the 2 producers that I've worked with, I don't know that either of them. I've never in like the almost 3 years of knowing them have like they ever been like, oh, I found this writer on Blacklist, or like, oh, I found this person on Coverfly. Like, I still feel like I don't know. I'm sure like there are people that have had success in that, but it just to me was making me think about like, because I think the other thing I wrote down that I wanted to tell you is like I saw a job posting for like the Big Apple Film Festival or something, and it was like seeking mentors for young screenwriters, and like they were gonna pay like $75 for a session. But when I was reading through the job ad, I was just sort of like, this is just funny to me because you would think that like who posts a job ad for something like this? Like if you're looking for like mentors for screenwriters who are submitting to your film festival, shouldn't you be like reaching out to people?
Like it felt a little phony. Right?
It feels a little bit like weird to me that you're needing to seek people to apply to like be a mentor for this. Because then I was like, should I just apply to this? Like I don't have any like real experience, but like it was just, I don't know, maybe it's stuff like that maybe I'm just in a bitter state in the moment,
makes sense.
But it feels like there is this constant like people wanting to take advantage of writers and like make money off of writers because of the like promise or idea of like
the hope of it all. I guess the top website that I think people are gonna use is probably like Network ISA, like or International Screenwriters Association. Is that what it stands for? And I'm still on there, and it also tracks all the contests you've done, and then they do have writing gigs that you can submit to. And I don't want to jinx anything, but I will say I've never heard of anyone actually getting an opportunity through these gigs.
I was going to say too,
I'm a little confused.
I would love to, like, please prove me wrong, people. I would love it if everybody was like, oh my God, Coverfly did so much for me. Blacklist did so much for me.
Do you mean ISA?
Or no, and ISA. No, I mean all of them. Like, I just feel like in general, I don't feel that they like really do people actually get enough out of these for like when I'm talking, like I imagine that if I've spent as much as I have before, and like after I sort of like hit my like, I don't know, moment where I was just like, why am I paying all this money for people to just keep telling me like, I kind of like your script, but I would change this, and then have the next person be like, wow, I love this, it's perfect as is. And that's like, what am I supposed to believe? So after I went through that phase, I just stopped. I haven't paid for anything
the
like
ISA one, you have to pay like $100 a year, and I actually wasn't gonna renew, and then it automatically renewed, and it was too late. So I was like, I think I canceled for next year because I'm disenchanted with that website too. I have found out after the fact, like it's kind of weird that they don't even share this with the writers, that I was like selected for a couple like quarterly lists that they supposedly send our log lines to like really cool companies. But it's like, kind of feels I feel like controversial. It feels a little phony almost, because it's like they didn't even tell us, first of all.
Yeah.
Like I had to like find it out from like another writer. But I don't want to badmouth. Like, I don't know. It's just, I just wonder like who is selecting these scripts, what actually happens with our log lines, and like, does anything happen? I don't know.
Yeah, because it does feel like they could just be like tossing that out to people who then just like read the log lines and are like, oh, I like that log line. I'm gonna take that
like
idea and
where
run
is
with
the
it.
transparency, I guess. Like it's always like validating to be like, oh, I'm on like the winter top list or whatever, but I don't know. And I know it's also promotional for them, because like as a writer, I'm like, yay, I made the list. I'll like post about it on Instagram.
Yeah.
So it's almost like them doing that is like helping themselves, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but that's what
so
I mean.
desperate.
That's like the part of me is that all of this stuff just feels very like gimmicky to me. And like I think I texted you right about the guy who emailed me, Pedro, whatever his last name was.
Pascal. No, I'm just kidding.
No. Yeah.
Not Pedro.
Get me, I would pass out if Pedro Pascal emailed me.
Please let him email you.
Yeah, this like dude emailed me like being like, I'm the executive producer of some show on HBO. And so obviously that got me to like open his email and read it, because and I like looked it up and I'm like, okay, he is like, this is a real show. Like, I see his information. And he was like requesting information about a script of mine and like wanted to know if I had a what is it called, a trailer or
like a sizzle reel, or what did he say, like a deck,
like
or
something for the pilot episode. You know what, he found me on Coverfly. But honestly, this sort of just goes to kind of prove my point more, because this was a scam. Like, this is a scammer. This is a dude like preying on people like me who have my project up on Coverfly. He got my email. Why can't I, for some reason I can't read his first email. And he said, Pedro here, producer of My Dead Dad, streaming on HBO Max. Quick question regarding Happy Heart Kona. Do you have a concept trailer for the project? And so like that was all he first sent. And so it was like just doing a like quick Google of him. He has a website. Like that is a real show. So I was kind of like, oh, interesting, cool. I responded. And then I remembered you had an experience, right, with someone before too. So I did a quick like Reddit search on it. And then that was where immediately multiple people have similar stories. Basically they were like, oh, he asked you to have a meeting through Zoom, and then he's going to like sell you on, like, he'll make a concept, blah, blah, just going to ask for money. And so then sure enough, he responded to my email wanting to set up a Zoom, like, you know, trying to make it sound like he's interested, but like he, you know, it's just like I can tell by the way he wrote this email that like this is someone just preying on someone, like, you know, like, let me see if I can get them to pay money for me to make this thing. And like it just makes me sad, because I felt like I wanted to share to like tell our audience and writers that like don't fall for this. It's a scam. Like, I think it's just
I can share the name of the person who scammed me as well. I mean, not proper. I mean, he didn't succeed in scamming me.
Yeah, tried to scam. Yeah, these are people who tried to scam us.
What was his name?
I can't remember. Yeah, what that guy's name was.
It was, I believe it was Kelly Price. I'm just gonna say it. Before I was like, you know, Aviva 2.0 and calls people out.
There is not one part of me that feels like I need to protect a man.
No,
in this day and age, like, no, I'm calling him out. Pedro Correa, if you get an email from him, from HBO, My Dead Dad, whatever TV show he's talking about, scammer, trying to make money. Like, I don't have to protect a dude.
Yeah, no, 100%. I bet this person is also just reaching out to women. I could be wrong, but definitely always, if you feel like something's too good to be true, go to Reddit.
Mostly is, honestly, Reddit. Seriously, like, thank goodness.
That's how I found
Reddit.
out too. Yeah. this guy, we talked about it in Christine Luby's episode toward the end, if you guys want to hear a longer story. But basically this guy, now it's kind of a blur, but he really got my hopes up and made it sound like he wanted to like work with me and buy my script. And then like, basically he wanted me to pay him money, which was so ridiculous.
You should never pay money for somebody to like talk to you, to consider your script, to like make anything with you.
Yeah, such a red flag. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe eventually I'll just have my own website again and kind of not use these platforms.
Yeah, no, that's honestly, I had that thought because I guess, you're not on the internet now. So, because I finished my recipe book for my cafe.
Oh, cool.
And I decided, I was trying to debate like how I was going to host it because I wanted people to be able to like do a digital download of it. So I ended up deciding to, because I used to have like a website for the cafe, but I was like, I just don't want to confuse people because like it's not an active cafe anymore. So anyway, all this to say is that I decided to host it on my personal website. So I like turned my personal website back on. And then I noticed I had a tab on there from like, maybe when I first moved to LA that was called screenplays. And I just like listed the names of my screenplays with like the log line. And then I thought, maybe that is just what I should do. It's just like host my screenplays with like a link to like request a down, just like how Coverfly does it, right? Like just put my screenplays, what they are, and then put a link that like allows people to like request the actual download of the script. Like I don't necessarily want the script just like hanging out there fully. And then that way I could use the site as a professional networking within like the film industry too, because I have a link on it for our podcast. But yeah, I kind of feel like that is like a better way almost, because then it kind of like, if you are branding yourself right as like a writer and like a professional, you kind of can give people this whole portfolio of like, this is who I am. And so I kind of think that actually might be a great option for people to consider as opposed to Coverfly or any of these other sites, because then you're in control of it. And like I pay $30 a month for my Squarespace, but that's the same cost as like Blacklist and all those other ones. And like, sure, maybe
that's true.
They have professionals looking on that all the time, but like how often is that really happening, that somebody is like executive at Warner Bros like looking at Blacklist and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna make Isabel's Zac Efron script.
I just had a vision for one day when our podcast is really big. But like, what if we had like a rom-com? I know this exists kind of already, but like a rom-com list of like scripts, to promote like our community scripts. Wouldn't that be so cute?
Well, I've thought about that before for us too, as like maybe we could, because we're always trying to find a way to incentivize the pod. But like we could, like I would be more like, I mean, I don't know how our audience would feel about this, but like I would rather like have people in our audience read our scripts than like, pay other people. And I would rather, like, I would be open to if people wanted to pay us to like read their scripts and give them feedback. And like, maybe there is some more trust for them because we like talk about this and we're writers too. But I mean, I don't know. I just like, I've had that thought before of like, if there was a way for us to have like a website where people could be like, I like, do you want to read my script? And here's like the logline information. And then if somebody within our network is like, yeah, like I want to read a rom-com, I'm going to read it. Cause like, I feel like we're all like minded and we're all like, I mean, you have to be able to like give some like constructive feedback and stuff. Right. But I just think like you're going to get better feedback from that audience, I would think, versus some random dude like in his dorm room that's getting paid $20 from We Screenplay to read this.
Totally. Yeah, we can think about how to do that because that is appealing to me.
I'm just gonna say to our audience, and I'm sorry if I sound very bitter today.
No,
but
you're being like spicy.
I mean, it's spicy, but I'm also just coming from a place of defending us as writers. Is my thought on it. That is like, I just see a lot of people always kind of like being together on the like, and I don't know. So I don't mind being the person sometimes that's just like, I don't want writers to keep losing or spending a ton of money on things that like aren't actually helping them. And I'd rather hopefully in the future us be able to just like provide more resources or opportunities, especially for women, because I think you're right that that it could be that we are easier targets than like any guy out there that maybe isn't as easy for someone like Pedro to just email and be like, "Oh, I like your project, Isabel."
I'm with you. We got to like stand up against these people and big companies, I think, that are just like kind of using us. So,
exactly.
and I'm not saying that all these companies are trying to use us, but you know, it's a business. It's a business model. And in the past, at least I've had this more like, I don't even want to use the word desperate energy, but just like eager energy to like get our writing in the right hands. And I was willing to pay to have that hopefully happen. But there's just so many of us that I don't think that's necessarily a path to actually getting what we want. So more to talk about for sure, but we should wrap it up for now.
Yeah, you've got a rom-com to
go see The Materialist, and I'm meeting my friend. So an afternoon showing, a little different, but I don't mind like matinees. That's fine.
Oh my gosh, I love matinees. I was supposed to go see Lilo and Stitch the other day, but I went to the dentist, and the dentist literally told me that I can't eat popcorn for a week. So I messaged my friends and I was like, "You guys, my dentist won't let me eat popcorn. I can't go to a movie and not eat popcorn."
It was too time. Yeah, it's hilarious. I often don't get food.
What?
But
I can't. I like need to have popcorn. If I'm going into the theaters, I have to have popcorn.
No, that makes sense. But we will be back soon with another episode. And there's a lot more to share. I still haven't even talked to anyone about grad school on the podcast or anything like that, so we can talk about that in the future. Have a good week, everyone.
Yeah, and let us know what you think of The Materialists.
Yes, The Materialists. Anything else coming out? There are not really that many rom-coms coming out, but let us know if you know of any. And see you soon.
Bye.
Bye. This has been an episode of When Isabel Met Aviva. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to stay up to date with our episodes, please subscribe. Bonus points if you leave us a positive review. You can follow us on Instagram at whenisabelmetaviva and on Bluesky at whenisabelmetaviva.
You can also find our personal profiles on Instagram and Bluesky too. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions or need any advice about your screenwriting career, or if you just want to obsess over rom-coms with us.
And don't forget to watch and write as many rom-coms as possible.